I'm going to present 6 key elements to a good virtual online commencement. Along with this, there'll be some technical aspects, but for full details, please read the article that's associated with this. That's at the Sovorel educational blog. Research has shown that a good virtual commencement, virtual graduation, online graduation, can be done effectively and can be viewed favorably by the family, the students, and their friends. A key aspect to keep in mind is that there needs to be a good social presence, a good, instructor understanding, instructional presence for all of this. So we'll be addressing that as we go through this. So here are the 6 key elements. Number 1, leader representation. This is an extremely important event in the life of that student, as well as their family and their friends. So that means that there should be leader presence. The leadership of the school, they should have at least, a distinguished instructor, distinguished professor, maybe even the president of the university. They should be present and be part of this. So that would be great if they were, let's say, the host or the co-host for this online event. Number 2, special guest speaker. Bring in an outside speaker or use a valedictorian, or even if it's the president that's going to give the actual speech, there should be some sort of a special presentation, a special speech that helps to commemorate all of this. So this can be done quite easily by just bringing in a remote host, or this could also be done ahead of time. You generally want to have the whole thing as live as possible, but if it's a special guest speaker, then they can definitely pre-record that. Key element with that is that it's done as professionally as possible with good editing so that it looks that much more impactful when it's presented in the event. The third one is personalization. This is extremely important in that the live event can't be seen as something cookie cutter that could be done for anyone. This is a special event, so it needs to be specific for that graduating class. So what that means is whoever is presenting, whoever is a guest speaker, they should speak specifically to that class and mention that class. Where's that school? What year is this? That type of thing. So it needs to be very specific. Along with that personalization, whoever is the master of ceremonies, that's the main host of the presentation, they need to read out the names of everyone that's graduated, as well as their actual degree. This personalizes it and makes it that much more of a heightened event because it's specific for that graduating class. Number 4, interaction. In a real event, families and friends that are watching the graduation event, they're able to cheer, to clap, to hold up signs, air horns, all that stuff. So we need to figure out how can we replicate that as much as possible in an online environment. A great way to do that would be through different interaction tools such as commenting feature, use of emoticons, animated GIFs, anything to allow the people viewing to be able to interact and to be able to express themselves in such a great occasion. Number 5, music. This might seem like a small detail, it's just music, but again, this gives everything sort of an additional emotional connection because music has that type of power. So the way to do that is just to incorporate it into the event. It could be played in the background, it could be played before and after, that type of thing. The only thing is to be careful when using music online in that it's copyright free, or you at least have the specific permissions to be playing it. YouTube is very notorious for cutting off streams if you're using or violating copyright. Number 6 seems like a small thing, but it's actually very important. That's to provide a keepsake. What I mean by that is, again, thinking about the real life and comparing that to the virtual one. In real life, when you go to a graduation ceremony, you can take pictures, as well as you are given a pamphlet or a graduation schedule that has everybody's names printed out there. So that's an important thing that different families use in different ways. They like to keep it, they like to scrapbook it, they like to keep it as a memento to go along with the experience of that occasion. So it can easily be replicated online. What can happen is that you can inform people that, hey, if you want to take pictures, you can always do screenshots, so you can give them information on that. But more importantly, that keepsake of that graduation pamphlet, that can be done. It could be nicely designed and then placed within a website for the graduation, where you can inform people, hey, if you want a copy of the graduation program, you can go there and download it. It should be a nice, simple PDF where they can have it, and they can keep it digitally or print it out themselves. This will allow them to, again, have a piece of memento from that special occasion. So those are the 6 key aspects, the key elements of the graduation ceremony. But now we also have to talk about the technical aspects. So how can we actually accomplish this for the school to have this type of live event? There's different ways to do it, so I'm going to cover some specific ones, and again, different price ranges. So the first one is Facebook Live. So this is a key element, a key tool that is within Facebook, and it's a great tool. It's totally free. Facebook is already super popular, so it should be pretty easy to have people go there and watch it. The other great thing about Facebook is it has lots of interactive tools such as commenting, and you can put animated GIFs, you can put emoticons in there. So great tool, greatly recommended. The next tool is YouTube Live. This is very similar to Facebook. It's just through a different system. It functions in the same way. The only problem with YouTube Live is that it's a little bit harder to have an additional host. With Facebook Live, you can easily bring in an additional host. With YouTube Live, it's more difficult. So that could be problematic if you plan to have multiple hosts or you plan to have a live guest speaker. So again, those are things to weigh. YouTube Live also has some interactive features, not as great as Facebook, but still pretty good. Of course, Zoom is another option. Zoom is great. There's lots of power in that. It's really easy to have interactive type of capabilities. You can share your screen and all sorts of things. The problem with that is that everyone else would need to have Zoom, and they would be needing to use Zoom to sort of zoom into your live event. That's problematic in that you're limited to the number of people you can have for that live event, as well as the time span of 40 minutes. So it would be somewhat problematic. Now, that's for the free version of Zoom. If you have the paid version of Zoom, well, then it's that much better because it actually has full integration with Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. So you could actually be hosting it in Zoom, but then be streaming it out through Facebook Live. So that would be something to look into. The paid version of Zoom isn't that expensive, so that would be an option to really think about as well. Another great option, but one that would cost quite a bit of money, is Mediasite. Mediasite is a super powerful video system in that not only would it do live video, you could do all sorts of things with it. It manages all your video. It's a whole end-to-end system dealing with video. So that would be something to look into. Mediasite, I've used it in the past. Very powerful, very great system, but it costs money. So it would be something to look into as an investment. I also wanted to be sure to mention open broadcast software. So it's also referred to as OBS. This is a software that allows you to basically turn your computer into sort of a live video mixing broadcast studio. So this is great in that you can use that with all the other ones that I just mentioned. This would just make it that much more of a polished system in that it would look that much nicer because you could have additional overlays, you could play additional videos, all sorts of things to make it look that much more dynamic, that much more event. The only issue with that is you would have to know what you're doing. So you would need to go in and really know the software in order to be able to manipulate it properly in order to have that good fine-tuned looking event. So definitely worth looking into. So to summarize, overall, I recommend Facebook Live. It's completely free, works really well. You can have multiple hosts, and there's all these interactive capabilities. So it's great tool, and I think would work well for what we're trying to do here. Additionally, make sure you consider and implement all of those 6 key elements for the graduation ceremony. That way you can give a great ceremony that all of those students have earned and truly deserve. Be sure to also advertise that this event is going to take place in multiple ways. Send out emails, Facebook posts, Instagram, everything, so that students and their families and their friends can prepare to enjoy this event together. Again, for more information, please check out Sovorel blog. And just remember that learning is for life.